What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. We have a brand new spell being added in the latest CoC Christmas update, the Bat spell. This will be unlocked at Town Hall 10, and it works very similar to the Skeleton spell, only it is the air version, spawning bats instead of skeletons. Now in this video we are going to attack every single defense in the game so that you can see how strong it is. If you want to see lots more sneak peek videos, all of the information as soon as it comes out, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave your likes if you are excited. Now, as you can see, we are kind of toying with the enemy queen here, but the bats will not attack her. So if you were thinking about taking out the enemy queen with the bat spell, it's not going to happen, guys. They only attack defenses. You spawn 15 bats at level 1. Again, you get that at Town Hall 10, right up to 27 at level 5. You basically get 3 extra bats per level. Let's move on to the defenses though, so that you can see how strong it is. Okay guys, let's fly straight in here with the bat spell. What I'm going to try and do for each of the defenses is show you a little side-by-side comparison. Now obviously the archer tower on the left is doing incredibly better than the archer tower on the right, just because the bat spell is spawned away from it. The bats have to go up to the archer tower, and in that time they can be taken out. However, clearly when you're using the bat spell, you want to be spawning it right on top of them defenses, as you can see. And another thing you can see from this video is as soon as 2 bat spells go to that archer tower, it goes down in a flash. So multiple bat spells will definitely be something you want to consider. Right, let's quickly show you the short-ranged archer tower here as well, and just the difference between that being able to shoot that little bit quicker than the regular archer tower. It should do a little bit better, in theory, shouldn't it, guys? And as you can see, that is definitely the case. However, again, if we were to put another bat spell on top of that, it would certainly do a bit better. Now, I gotta tell you guys, the bat spell at Town Hall 10 is fantastic, especially for taking out air defense. Perhaps you can take out a couple of them actually with the bat spell. Maybe you can then use Sui heroes onto a third. It really does work out well and will be setting up your air attacks nicely at Town Hall 10. Higher up, the Eagle Artillery is always a good one to take out, and honestly, a rage spell alongside this can be fantastic as well. Hopefully this video shows you exactly how many bat spells you will need for each defense. Onto the Expos, guys. We're going to fly right through this, all of the different defenses. Obviously, the ground-based Expo would be taken straight out by the bat spell. It couldn't attack up to it. The other thing to make note of here with this video is it is just a bit of a demonstration, guys. If it was a realistic base, you would indeed have other defenses shooting at the bat spell. Now, the one thing you can see is that the Expo, it is incredibly fast. Even if we put the bat spell directly on top of it, then it still takes a bit of time. Let's go ahead and use the rage spell just so you can see that extra damage by the bat spell. We do have 2 Expos shooting at it here, so why don't we put twice as many bat spells in? It's gonna fly down now, guys. You get the idea. The Expos are relatively good against the bat spell, so you'll definitely need a couple of them on top of each other. As with all of these videos where we attack every single defense, there's always the situation where if we are using air troops, we will be attacking ground defenses. I think it's still important that you get to see that, just because you can see how quickly they can take out the defenses. The bats in force will do fantastic against them ground-based defenses if there's nothing to take them out. We now move on to the Wizard Towers. Splash damage defenses. How strong will they be versus the bat spell? Now guys, when we do get to the end of the video as well, we are going to be attacking the Giga Tesla. Can we take that out with bat spells? We'll have to wait and see. So the wizard tower is going to be able to do splash damage onto the bats, but basically, as you can see on the right hand side, as long as we put the bat spell directly on top of the wizard tower, it actually does pretty good. Now that's because the bats will spawn around the wizard tower and be able to take it out in just one hit. So potentially, if you have a wizard tower, let's say to the back end of the base, and there's no other splash air targeting defenses, let's say there's only cannons and mortars around it, you might be able to sneak a bat spell in order to take that wizard tower out before your balloons from your lava loon attack even get there. This is the one you guys have been waiting for, the air defense. Can you take it out easily with the bat spell? Now remember, you could also use the skeleton spell for this, but at Town Hall 10, the bats do very well. Again, they can be very effective at taking out the air defense, but this is just a little bit of a mock-up. Just remember that, guys. This is purely the defense by itself. It isn't a realistic base. However, look at how quick the bats took out the air defense. It didn't stand a chance. They ripped it apart, and I'm telling you, especially when you first get the bat spell, it's going to be incredibly useful for you. Now, you did see earlier that we couldn't attack the queen. We're not going to try and attack the king because, again, you're not going to be able to take out the king. However, the Grand Warden turns into a defensive structure. So that is something that you will be able to take out. Again, the Grand Warden, with a lot of troops, it doesn't do a huge amount of damage, so the bat spell, you're going to be able to take it out pretty easily. We've thrown the bomb tower in there as well just to show you. Let's move on to the Infernal Towers. Okay, let's first attack the single Infernos before we move on to the multi, and you might be able to guess which one is best. However, the single target Inferno still does pretty well against the bat spell. Against a single bat spell, shall we say. As you can see, even the single target Inferno on the right hand side, where we placed the bat spell directly on top of it, didn't really take too much damage. The bats, they have very little health, so they go down pretty quickly, and the Inferno doesn't even need to charge up. It just takes them straight down. However, watch this, guys. This is where the bat spell really does shine, when you can start to overwhelm defenses. Once we put 2 bat spells in, just watch it how quick the single Inferno goes down. You get to a stage where the defense just cannot keep up and the bats just get too many. They start to take down defenses very quickly. So the bat spell might be an answer in order to try and take down some of them single target Infernos. Now I know you guys have been waiting for this one, the multi-Inferno. The single Inferno went down pretty good to the bat spell. Perhaps you're planning a queen charge or something like that. The bat spell might be an option to try and take out the single, or at least distract it. Granted, you could use a freeze. However, we're digressing, guys. Let's get on to the multi. Now again, although the beams don't do a lot of damage, they take down the bats incredibly fast. They have very little health. Even when you put multiple bat spells, they go down very quick. Now it's like anything, guys. If you were to spam enough spells, you would be able to get the multi-Inferno down. You can see we've already got almost half health down. However, would that be worth doing that to put the spells in? Probably not. So although you can take a multi-Inferno down, you basically wouldn't want to. You wouldn't be able to take it down quick enough. Now maybe you can combine this with a freeze spell if you really wanted to. There's ways and means around it, but you've got to think, how important is it to get that multi-Inferno down? As you can see, the bats, they're definitely not doing very well against the multi. That's what we're trying to show you in this video, exactly which defenses you want to take down. The Eagle Artillery though, like I said, that is a one that you can take down and one that you will definitely want to consider at the higher level. Okay, now one defense we have overlooked is the air sweeper. How will that affect the bat spell? But that's not all, guys. Down in this area, we have a little bit of a troll setup. We have all of the Teslas, we have a bunch of air-based traps, the air bombs, the air skeletons. Which ones will be affected by the bat spell? Let's check it out. So as we bring the bat spell in, you can see that the Teslas do indeed pop. There are a bunch of traps in between that area by the Teslas and the air sweeper, and none of them have popped. So the bat spell will be affected by Teslas, but will not affect the air traps. So it won't set off any black air bombs, anything like that. Clearly that wouldn't be a good thing for the game, guys. We wouldn't want the bats setting off all of the traps across the base. Once you knew where the traps were, you could just drop the bat spell. Lava Loon would be OP. However, as you can see, sometimes you have these Tesla farms at the end of a base, and the bats have done relatively well here. But again, a single bat spell, as you can see in this instance, is not doing too great. However, when we put two in together, it overwhelms the Teslas, and it's able to take them down pretty easily. Now, the bats are affected by the air sweeper, but once they get past it, the sweeper's not going to do much. It is going to go down in a flash. Now, just before we move on to the Giga Tesla, see if we can take that Town Hall 12 defense out. We are going to try the Eagle Artillery. Now again, the Eagle is not going to be activated in this situation, so it's going to go down relatively quickly to the bat spell. But again, the bat spell is going to be good for the Eagle. If you can snipe off the Eagle with maybe two bat spells, it's definitely going to be worth it, guys. It depends on what is around it, but you definitely want to consider it. Let's move on to that final defense. Here we are, guys, the final defense of the video. Be sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed this one, and let me know what you think of the bat spell down in the comments section. Now, initially what we're going to do is we are getting a decent amount of damage onto the Giga Tesla here with an earthquake spell, but that would clearly be worth it in something you could do in a regular battle. Let's now just use one bat spell at a time. Then what we will do is come back to it if we do not take down the Giga Tesla and try and use a couple of them together to see if we can take it out. Now again, the Giga Tesla is probably not going to be just left by itself. You are probably going to have other defenses around it, so it's not going to be as easy as just slamming in a couple of bat spells and taking it out. You might have a multi-inferno around there as well. However, let me know in the comments if you remember the island style bases where you used to be able to use the skeleton spell and the rage spell to take out the core of the base. Perhaps this is something else we will start seeing with the bat spell, the air-based spell. It does extremely well. Like I said, guys, Town Hall 10, I think the air defense, using it to take that out will be extremely helpful. Trying to snipe off the Eagle Artillery higher up, definitely something you want to consider. Not that you couldn't try and take out the air defense still, but as you can see, they're not doing too well against the Town Hall. Let's put 3 bat spells and see if they can do a little bit better. Now, they are certainly doing a decent amount of damage, but not enough to take it down. I don't think it matters how many we put in. It's not going to help. Let's come back and try one more time with a freeze spell to see if we can take it down quick enough. Okay guys, let's see if we can do this with the single spell slots first. What I'm going to do is use an earthquake, then the freeze, and let's go with 4 bat spells. That would be basically 6 spell slots in order to try and take down the Giga Tesla, the Town Hall. I'm not convinced that would be worth it, guys, but let's just see if we could do it anyway. So in goes the earthquake, gets that bit of damage first, freeze, and 4 bat spells come in. Now initially they're going to do a decent amount of damage, but remember it actually takes them a little while to start spawning, so they continually spawn like the skeleton spell. It's not like all of them just spawn there together. And actually what I think now is that the Giga Tesla is getting on top of it. Look at that. It didn't take long, did it? So we would need even more spells than that. Let's try the Rage and 3 bat spells to see if the Raged bats can take down the Giga Tesla. It looks like they're getting significant damage, but again, it's not something that is going to be worthwhile. You're not going to basically want to do this. Now, if we had have put more bat spells in initially, it would have definitely gone down, guys. Let's quickly show you that before we finish the video. Here we are then, guys, just to finish things off. I don't think we need that Rage. Let's up it from 4 bat spells to 6, and honestly, I'm pretty sure that that will be enough to get this done. So, in with the Earthquake. Then, once we've activated that, let's go Freeze, and let's use 6 bat spells. We've actually only used 5 there, so let's get another one in. That would basically mean that that is 8 spell slots used out of your composition. And as you can see, the Giga Tesla does amazingly well, but it's not going to be a match. There's just too many bat spells. Again, not something I would recommend for a battle, but you can take it down. Perhaps you might want to do it. I'm not too sure. Let me know in the comments, but that wraps it up for this one. I've been your host, Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out.